Okay. Hey, y'all. I look awful. I hate going live. I can't believe I'm going live. Let's wait for some of y'all to get on here. All right, we got one person. Hi, y'all. This is regarding Olive's little post that he made on his story today and the conversation that I had with the FBI investigator this morning. I just want to wait till a few more people get online. I just woke up, y'all. If you can't tell, I work nights. I didn't go to sleep until about noon today, and I woke up to everybody sending me screenshots of Olive's stories. Thanks, Alex. I am comfy. So the reason that I'm going live is because Olive put out that story saying that a bunch of his cases were dismissed because of this stuff going around. I find it really ironic that he said that, because I just had like a 40 minute conversation this morning with the FBI investigator this morning. I'm really surprised, but very happy with how open she's being about this investigation with me. She's got nothing to hide. So this morning, the investigator tells me, she explains to me the process that has to occur when trying to catch a predator online, right? So in the video last night, I explained that Olive did go to her before to get help with a case. And then when she told him that she would need access or control of the decoy account, Olive didn't like that and backed off. Well, here's the rest of that story, because I just got it this morning. Olive's first case that he ever posted about, and saying, yeah, my first case, we finally got one. Yeah, y'all can scroll back. She told me the name. I don't remember the name. Olive brought that case to her and asked her for help. She said, yeah, we would love to help. I just need to be able to control the decoy account and we'll get this guy. Olive was like, nah, I don't want to hand over control. I'm not going to hand over control. And he stopped working with her. But joke was on him, because he already got her involved by asking. She tried to get him to work with her. He wouldn't. So what she had to do, again, remember, this woman is FBI. She had to remotely kick him out of that decoy account. She had to set a new password. And she had to control the account from her end. And then it was law enforcement who got that guy caught up. It was her law enforcement team that caught the first predator. Once Olive saw that guy was caught and saw the news report, he shared it on Facebook like, yay, my first one. And it wasn't him. It was her. What's making me angry is Olive is trying to tell people, oh, the stuff going around is the reason why I just had cases dismissed, when that's not the case. This investigator just told me this morning, hold on, Philip, I'll answer that in just a moment. The investigator just told me this morning that the reason why so many counties will not work with Olive is because the route that he goes in catching these predators is not legal and it will not hold up in court. She is actually over multiple counties. She told me he reached out to Logan County. Logan County asked her, he was like, hey, boss, can I help? And she's like, no, do not touch it because we will get in trouble. There's only like 1 or 2 counties working with him and they're not following the correct due process, which is why, even though Olive has caught all of these predators, all of their cases have been dismissed, which has been something that I have wondered, like, why aren't they sticking? And she said, because it's entrapment. You can't entrap a predator. There's a correct process. And she has wanted to work with Olive. But Olive literally freaks out and runs at the thought of having to hand over the decoy accounts. Olive knows that he's obstructing justice. He knows that the route that he's taking to catch these predators is not legal. He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is the attention that he gets from being able to post about it and the money that he garners from Facebook by having a content creator page. I don't know if y'all know this, but Facebook pays up to $30,000 a month to their content creators. He's making money. But all of these predators are walking free even after being exposed because a judge is looking at the case and is like, we can't do anything with this legally. She has literally begged Olive, she has begged the counties that are working with him to stop and to handle them the legal and correct way. Because if they don't, the state is going to lose its funding for crimes or internet crimes against children, ICAC. They will lose she said it's around $2 million in funding. Yes, Jackson County. But if you look, those cases aren't sticking. She said that they will lose all of their funding if this doesn't stop. And Olive doesn't care. Olive doesn't care. His goal isn't actually helping. He has time and again obstructed justice on each of these cases and has entrapped these predators. So yeah, they do belong away and off the street, but you can't entrap them and expect that to stick and them stay in jail. All she asked is, hey, am I a bitter ex? I don't know who you are, Ryan, but no, we've never been together, weirdo. Yeah, you can't entrap a criminal. It doesn't matter what criminal activity they were doing. You have to follow correct due process. And Olive absolutely refuses to do it. He is the sole reason why his cases get dismissed. He is the sole reason why, even when these predators see jail time, why the cases don't stand. And he knows it. He doesn't care. So I just really, really wanted to address that, because I don't want people looking at that story and thinking that what he said is true. Olive is the sole reason why these cases get dismissed. The woman told me she broke down the entire process that they have to follow. She has to go through special training. She has to say specific shit to these predators to make it not entrapment, to make it legal, to make it to where when they go to court and they hand over chat logs, that it sticks and these predators are away for good. Olive won't do that. He won't comply. And Jackson County is just kind of using him as a little front man for PR, media stuff, something like that. But if Jackson County doesn't stop and doesn't start following the correct legal process, our children could literally be more at risk because we will not have this FBI task force here for them. So I want to address what Philip said, because that actually goes into the next part. Philip asked me, he said, you said you know about his drinking from experience, so you chill with him too. So back in March, April of this year, I received a message from Olive. Didn't know anything about him at this time other than the fact that I really was excited. Like, I love what he did. I had followed it, so I was super excited to even be talking to him. I had a little fangirl moment. He asked me if I wanted to help him, and this seems to be a theme throughout some of the like, if you look through the viral post and look through the comments, this seems to be a theme with him and women. He asked me if I wanted to assist in helping put predators away, and y'all know me. I'm like, hell yeah, I jumped right in there. I want to help. So we met and we went to the Black Sheep. We met in public. I'm not gonna lie. So my sister, I'm not going to divulge a lot of her information, her background, but my sister called me and was like, please be careful. The vibe is off. Please be careful. And I'm like, sis, I'm the big sister. It's okay. We did have the lunch. We talked. His vibes were weird. I left immediately after lunch. I even called my sister to let her know, like, hey, I made it back to my car safely. He didn't park anywhere near me. Yeah, he's weird. But we still kind of talked. Like, listen, y'all know that I work with people on my Facebook. Anybody who actually does follow me knows that I tell y'all, if you've got mental, physical, spiritual issues, come to me, talk to me. I'm here to talk to you. And after that one meeting, Olive began calling me regularly in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. There were nights that I was getting off work or on my way to work at 6 in the morning, and he was calling me drunk. And this is, again, a common theme across the board. He gets drunk and he calls people, which, don't get me wrong, I got friends that over the years have called me while drunk, but they're fun. Olive's not fun when you talk to him when he's drunk. He is absolutely belligerent. I actually have... I have an 18-minute screen recording, and this was one of the last few times I actually did talk to him because he made me so uncomfortable. I have an 18-minute screen recording of Olive calling me in the middle of the night drunk. I was doing laundry, and I accidentally answered it, and I was like, screw it, man. What if he needs somebody? So, exactly, LaShawn, it's literally a common theme across the board. In this screen recording, Olive has a complete breakdown. Like, I'm talking screaming, punching, kicking, terrorizing his entire apartment. I feel so bad for his neighbors because he was screaming at the top of his lungs. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because it kind of ties back in with this case stuff and cases being dismissed in Jackson County. Olive, the reason that he had such a big freak out that night when we were talking is because he tells me, and I guess he's told other people, that he has a defense attorney who is representing a few of the child predators that he got arrested. And it didn't make sense to me until I talked to the investigator this morning why he freaked out so much. He was really, really upset. And he even held up some of the paperwork from the subpoenas. He tore up all of the subpoena paperwork on this FaceTime and was like, fuck y'all. Why are y'all sticking up for predators? And at first I'm like, yeah, why are they? That's weird. Why are they subpoenaing you? Why are they making you out to be the bad guy? It's because he's entrapping these predators. And the angle that they're I guess this defense attorney who's representing these predators, which they don't even deserve to be represented, but whatever. The angle that they're working is entrapment, and the fact that Olive does this for money and attention, because again, none of this is sticking in court and cases are being dismissed. That little thumb. So he's freaking out in the FaceTime, and I keep trying to calm him down and like get him to rationalize with me. And I'm like, well, it's not that big of a deal, is it? Like, he shows me that they want all his information. And I didn't realize until this morning why this was such an issue. In the subpoenas, they're like, we need every account that has anything to do with the name Olive Hugh, human. And after searching all of his accounts across the internet, he's got SoundCloud, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter. He is everywhere on the internet, and they all have different variations of his name or aliases. What they subpoenaed goes a lot deeper than what Olive wanted them to go. Because again, he's using these names across the board. And they told him he's got to bring in everything. You need to bring in all of the chat logs. We want to see what you're making off of this. So initially in that FaceTime with him that I recorded, he was like, F them. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going. They can't make me. He tore up all the paperwork. And guys, I'm not going to lie. Like, I did feel a little bit bad. I didn't understand. But I did keep asking him. I was like, okay, let me go. I want to go. Can the public go to your court case? I want to see what's happening because this doesn't sound right. No. The reason that they're subpoenaing him is because of what the investigator told me this morning. He's obstructing justice. Yes, these predators are getting caught, but they're getting entrapped. So it's frustrating, one, because now the judicial system has to support the fact that these predators are being entrapped instead of taking care of them and locking them up like they should be, because there is evidence that they're predatory, but they can't use the evidence. So that's why he's being subpoenaed in, I think, Jackson County, somewhere up there. I'm not the only person that he told about. Oh yeah, TikTok. He's everywhere on the internet. He has told multiple people about this case, but I don't think he's told the truth. And then I heard the truth this morning and why he's so upset. Whatever he's doing on these decoy accounts and on his regular accounts, again, talking to minors himself, he didn't want them to see. He didn't want to have to turn all of that over. So he actually skipped the first court case where he was subpoenaed in, just didn't go. Was like, oh, I didn't know. And they even threatened to hold him in contempt. He did finally go and show up because he didn't have a choice. But yes, I knew Olive personally. I thought that he wanted help. No, he just wanted to call me drunk in the middle of the night and make me super uncomfortable. During that FaceTime that I screen recorded, he was also extremely abusive to Agni, to the extent that I was crying. And his new little kitty. He made the little kitty sleep in this tiny little broom closet. There was no food, no nothing in there for the kitty. He just didn't want to deal with the kitty running around in the middle of the night. So he locked the kitty up in the broom closet. He punched and kicked and hit Agni repeatedly during this FaceTime with him. To the extent, now, if y'all have ever seen his videos or if you know him personally, Agni is a very gentle dog and he loves Olive. But he continued to hit and berate Agni to the point that Agni bit him. Do y'all remember him posting a dog bite? I'm willing to bet that was Agni. But yeah, Agni bit him on the live video and was growling at him, or not the live video, I'm sorry, on the screen recording and in this FaceTime. And then after he gets bit, Olive starts laughing and kind of cheering Agni on, yeah, good job, Agni. He's got his arm in Agni's mouth laughing, drunk as hell, after beating this dog. Not kidding. So he made me extremely uncomfortable, which is why I did record that FaceTime. Y'all, if you've ever come to me for help, guidance, an ear, somebody to listen to you, I've never recorded a conversation ever. And that was the first time in my life. But I literally got off of that FaceTime. It was 2, 3 in the morning. And I got a hold of my sister and I was like, do not talk to Olive anymore. There is something wrong with him. And I told her about the screen recording that I took, and I told her I'm hanging on to it. This was months ago. This was probably in June, July. And I told her that I was hanging on to it because I knew something like this was going to happen today. Girl, he antagonizes that dog constantly. He's fine when he's sober, but when he is drunk, he is so abusive to Agni. And Agni is just the most sweet dog. He doesn't know any better. He still wants to cuddle up to him. He still wants to lay with him. Awful. Awful, awful. And I know that I can't be the only person that has seen this because I was a stranger and he was comfortable doing that in front of me. But again, the reason that I wanted to go live is because Olive is trying to tell y'all through his story update that this stuff going around is the reason why the cases are dismissed. They are dismissed because they can't use them in court. A judge is looking at this and they're like, I can't legally prosecute this. I want to, and I can't. And they're having to let them go. And do you know how frustrating that is for law enforcement? Because obviously, yes, even though these predators were entrapped, obviously they have a predatory bone in their body, or else they wouldn't have continued to say and do the things that they did to what they perceived as a minor, right? But you can't just be any Joe off the street trying to catch a predator and expecting it to be admissible in court. Especially when the leader of the task force is telling you, we have to follow these steps. Yeah, yes, he had the GoFundMe for Agni, and I was talking about this last night, and I really wonder if it's because of the way that he abuses him when he gets drunk. I have turned over the 18-minute recording to the FBI, to the investigator. That is not something that I'm going to post, y'all. I like my Facebook. I've already been kicked off of Facebook for posting way too much of the truth, and if I post dog abuse, I already know my page is going to be gone. But yes, he is unstable. He does drink a lot. I'm not going to call him an alcoholic, but if you look through how many people have said, he calls me drunk in the middle of the night all the time. This dude's drinking all day. And I'm not saying that it's not because this stuff isn't taking a toll on him. I couldn't imagine talking to some of these sickos. I really couldn't. But if his goal was to really help children, why is he so afraid of turning over his decoy accounts? Why is he so afraid of turning over this information? Why is he shutting down when it comes to the point that they're like, hey, we have to take control of this so that it can actually be used in court. Because if the goal was to help, he would be like, oh yes, this is what I wanted. Here you go. He's not. What does he have to hide? Well, we know for one, he's been talking with at least one minor. And that minor told me about her friend that he was talking to. So we know of at least two. Who else? What else? Jess, I don't know what his real name is. Even the FBI agent, or she literally asked me, is his name Juan? Is his name Olive? We've got all these different aliases for him. I'm not saying they can't dig and actually find out the real answer, but since this was just brought to her desk, they are not sure. I heard the same thing, Ashley. We've heard Trevor. I've seen him say his name is Javin or Javin. Juan on a pill bottle that somebody sent me of his. Like, it says his last name is Hernandez. I don't know. Like, it's really weird. And it's like, what does this guy have to hide? What does he have to hide? Outside of this predatory stuff, he's been trying to hide who he really is since long before Operation Juicebox. Why is that? I don't know. But, yeah, that was the whole point of this live. I just wanted you guys to understand it's super ironic that I just had this conversation this morning with the investigator and her explaining why his cases don't hold up. And she's furious. She wants these predators off the street. That's her job. And Olive is completely obstructing her job. She's obstructing the jobs of a lot of people and a lot of law enforcement agents in different counties who want to be able to help and who can't help because of him. He knows it. He doesn't care as long as he gets the attention and the credit for it. It's sick. And, like I said, she told me she's been waiting for this a really long time. I want you guys to know that she's taking all of this stuff seriously. She has went through that viral post. She's taking it all seriously. The sexual nature of the things that he's done to women, the sending nudes without consent, and then of course the talking to the minor. She's trying to put all of this into categories so that they can investigate. But just understand that, like, she's really gonna dig, for one, and two, Olive is the reason that his cases get dismissed. Y'all, I don't like going live, so I'm going to go through and see some of these comments if there's any questions that I can answer real quick before I jump off of here. Like I said, I slept all day. I'm hungry. So let me see. Yes, that TikTok, just... Girl, that's just because he antagonizes that dog. That dog is only aggressive because he becomes aggressive with Agni. Agni is sweet and gentle. Literally, right after he punched that dog while on FaceTime with me, Agni tried to cuddle up to him. Like, bro, what are you doing to me? Like, it makes me want to cry. I'm not even kidding, y'all. Anybody who knows me, they call me Snow White, the animal whisperer. I take care of animals. My house is overrun with a bunch of foster kitties right now. It made me sick. I begged him that night while on FaceTime to get that kitten, that little baby kitten that he just adopted, out of the closet. That thing was crying so loud. It wanted out. I don't know. And yeah, Sam Bam, this is he definitely has mental issues. I'm not saying that when he started this, that his intentions weren't in the right place. But just like the investigator said, the regular Joe Schmo or Sally off the street does not wake up and say, this is what I want my job to be for the rest of my days. She said, the only reason I do this is because I'm paid by the government to do this. But I have to go have psychological evaluations after some of the things that I see. I have to take mental breaks. I have to have separation between it. And she's like, the fact that this guy is just knee deep in it and doesn't, there's something else there. There's something there. The GoFundMes were fraudulent. I really hope that if anybody donated to him trying to come to West Virginia, that you ask for your money back. I could tell you right now that if you were to go request the refund, it comes right back to you. Whenever I got in my car wreck and I set up a GoFundMe, a few people who donated like $50, $20. I'm gonna guess they needed their money back because they requested a refund and it came out of my account. Except for me, I didn't get that much money out of my GoFundMe and I truly needed it and it overdrafted me. But it does come back to you. You guys will get your money back. He was in West Virginia in December. We found his Twitter account where he posted towards the end of December. I can't remember the date, but he posted towards the end of December that he was already in West Virginia. And then he was telling people on Facebook and his followers in February, hey, I'm trying to get to West Virginia and I need help. Why? That girl literally posted a video of him sleeping on her couch or somebody's couch in town at the same time that he was asking for donations. I don't know. I feel like his heart was in the right place. I hope that his heart was in the right place when he started, and maybe it just got away from him. Maybe it went too deep. Ashley, so your comment saying the person that organized his one GoFundMe is probably another alias. We're trying to figure out who that person is because they want to know who his mother is. They want to know who his parents are. And he's got family listed with the last name of Workman. But he also, like, who knows? We actually did. My sister, man, I gotta give my sister props on her investigative skills because my sister actually did find his brother, did find family, found his Facebook, all of that. But we can't find a mom relationship or anything. I want to know where he's actually really from. Is it actually California or what? He has told people that he was in a gang out there, like, that he was related to, like, cartel. I don't know. All I know is that if you're truly trying to help children and get predators off the street, then you work with law enforcement to ensure that happens. You don't act like you have something to hide when they say, hey, hand over that decoy account. Unless you have something to hide. And what do you have to hide? What is he doing on these decoy accounts that he doesn't want law enforcement to see? That's the question. That is the question. So, yeah, he could be. I'm not sure. And yeah, my sister just commented and said he told her he was in a gang. He told other people that he was in a gang. Like, I don't know. Nobody really knows who this person is. And I think that this is a really, really good lesson, y'all, in vetting the people that you look up to and that you trust, especially through the internet. Hell, even me. The only difference is I come with receipts and proof and honesty. But I don't know. I think this has been a great lesson in that. I don't like that so many people have been manipulated. I don't like that so many women have been in fear to say anything up until now. I don't like that we have a child involved that is absolutely terrified to go to law enforcement and to stand up for herself, and however many. I don't like that this guy thinks that things like revenge porn and sending out nudes that were sent to him in confidence as revenge is okay. And he laughs about it on his posts. He had one post on his human account that said, "You've never had your nudes shared," and it shows. Like, he's very predatory himself and acting like he's here to help while obstructing justice, while knowing that he's obstructing justice, while knowing that that people can, or the people that he's catching will not stay in jail because he won't follow the correct process. But then has the audacity to come to Facebook like he's doing something really big. You're exposing them, but you also entrapped them, and you also got them out of jail free because you entrapped them. And now they're not behind bars, and now they're right back out. And now that same guy that you caught, he knows exactly what not to do the next time he tries to go for a child because you didn't handle this the proper way the first time. And that's sick to me. That's absolutely sick, and that's scary to me. We can't be out here educating predators on what to do and what not to do, and that's what Olive is doing. Catherine, I don't doubt that. And you're not. This stuff right here is straight from the investigator's mouth. She wants these guys off the street just as much, and like she said, these guys are definitely predators because they're taking the bait. But at the end of the day, when you go into a courtroom, you have to have a proper legal process to indict anybody. to put anybody in jail, and he's not following it. Sorry, I'm reading these. And I just want people to know, like, if you have substance abuse issues, I feel for you. I don't hold judgment. I'm holding judgment here because this man is getting drunk, using decoy accounts, talking to predators, and it's going the extra mile. He's drunk on these decoy accounts. What is he doing on them? And like I said this morning, it's highly possible, like, man, we've all drank and woke up and been like, damn, did I send that text last night? I'm sure he woke up multiple times throughout this whole experience and was like, damn, did I really send that? And he doesn't want to hand that over to the FBI. He's scared for a reason to hand it over to the FBI. So I just want you guys to know, he's the reason that this stuff doesn't hold up in court. He's the reason why these predators keep ending up back on the street. Smarter now because they know who to avoid, what to avoid. Not all of them are smarter. Some of them are repeat offenders, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, man, when I send drunk texts to my friends, I'm like, you're so pretty. I hope you know you deserve the best. I'm not terrorizing them in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. Olive literally called me over 12 times one night at 3 o'clock in the morning while I was at work. Couldn't answer. I don't know. He needs help. I truly do worry about him. Whoever this guy is, I do worry about his mental health. I worry about everything to do with him. I worry about what he's doing with these decoy accounts. I worry about how it's affecting him, even because he's still a human. He is still talking to these predators for whatever reason. And I really hope he gets the help that he needs. I really hope that if he does try to continue forward with this in any capacity, although I don't think he should, but if he does, that I really hope that he starts to work with law enforcement in the way that he's supposed to. But I don't see that happening since this guy's been soliciting minors. It's too much. It's too much. But I don't want to sit here and speculate. I don't want to sit here and just talk badly about him because there's enough of that going around. And we can all say something. What's important is that Olive is the reason why these cases are being dismissed. Nobody else. This isn't a smear campaign. He does have pages, Ashley, with Oliver as his name. But, like, I'm leaning towards it not being Oliver. Unless he changed it. Unless he changed his name. So. Just right? Yeah, like, somebody bring me some food. Like, I'm not terrorizing my friends. I'm not abusing animals in front of my friends. Or when I'm just not. But yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me before I get off here, though? Bonnie, I will look out for your message. Ashley, somebody said that he lived in Oklahoma, he's lived in Oregon, he's lived in California, he has lived in different states all over. Who knows what the hell is the truth? Jennifer, I don't know and I don't want to know. One of my biggest fears and one of the investigators' worries is, like, did he get these nudes to be able to send to the predators to help entrap them? When they asked for pictures, was he having, if you look at some of the girls that, like, he posts pictures of, we're all, like, I don't know why I said he didn't post me, but they're all a part of the itty bitty titty community. They look smaller, and I say this as a girl who's a part of that committee, and give me the right filter and I look like I'm 16 years old again, you know? I don't know. I think he's gotten way too deep in it. My sister even found, like, decoy accounts where, like, the decoy accounts are interacting on his page. So he's not just using these decoy accounts to, like, I understand the whole point. You want the decoy account to look real. You don't want there to be any questions when the predator interacts with them, right? So I've seen where he's messaged people like, hey, can you comment on this decoy account's page and say such and such? And I get that, but I think he's gone too deep. If you look into his Facebook pages and his Instagram pages, and he goes on these decoy accounts himself, and starts talking to his main pages. And he'll engage in conversations back and forth with the decoy account and his main page for himself. Like, is that schizo? Multiple personality disorder? I don't know. The old GoFundMe from 2016, Leslie, is that what you're talking about? I did post, I think I posted pictures of it. And that's what I was talking about in my live yesterday. I can't pronounce the name. It's either Havin, Havin, is the name. And I just wonder, like, how did that pass through GoFundMe anyways? Because I had to prove who I was. I had to send them, before they would let me cash out with any of my money, I had to send in a copy of my ID. I had to prove my identity. So either GoFundMe was more relaxed back then, or still is, because he's still using random names. He's not using his real, whatever name is on his ID. A person that has talked to him, that I personally trust, that has seen his ID, saw the name Juan Hernandez on it. But again, that doesn't mean that he couldn't have changed his name. Let me check. Oh. Well, Bonnie, that would make sense then. If he was actually diagnosed with DID, that makes sense. Yes, Catherine. Look, me and my sister, like, I had a very slow night at work last night, so we started digging into all of these accounts that we could find. If you go through his friends list on Instagram, all of his Instagram, and on his Facebook accounts, he's got the same decoy accounts listed, but he doesn't just use them as decoys. Like, he's using them to interact with himself on his main pages, and I don't understand. Yes, Jennifer, it is almost like it's like a game. But again, the point is like, why? You're supposed to be here to help children, to protect children. Your whole MO is that you're here to protect the children. So why are you not correctly working with law enforcement? And what do you have to hide that is keeping you from sharing these decoy accounts? What do you have to hide, bud? Because, you know, I've been trying to send that 18-minute video, the screen recording that I took of Olive, to the investigator since yesterday. And it's so long, it don't want to be sent. And she asked me, she's like, okay, would you be comfortable if maybe we met up to do this? Would you be comfortable if I sent you like a little flash drive for you to try to put it on instead? And I was like, girl, I don't care. I don't mind. I will do whatever it takes to work with you. And she was trying to assure me, like, you know, if we meet up in person, I don't have to be in uniform, which kudos to her for trying to make sure I'm comfortable to meet up with her. But sis, I don't care if you're in uniform and you got your flashing lights on. I will literally walk up to you and work with you, right? Because I want to make sure that children are okay, right? Isn't that how you should be if you have nothing to hide? Even if she said, sis, I got to take that phone for a little bit to be able to get it off of it. I have nothing on here. They might see a couple of my booty pictures on there and some really weird memes because my humor is different, but that's all they're gonna get, you know. Like, people who don't have anything to hide have no problem working with law enforcement when they're trying to help, right? So I don't know. Yeah, I've seen multiple people try to run like names on him. My question is though, like, has that always been his name? Has Juan always been his name? Why has he been hiding who he is completely and using different aliases across the board all over his accounts on the internet? Some of his Twitters are from back in 2013. Why have you been hiding so deeply who you are for so long? Why? We're gonna find out one way or another. You know, and this is gonna be the last thing that I mention. One of my big questions that I have is, why don't we ever see his family commenting or sharing his posts? Like, you know, I like I said, I was a big follower of Olive, so if he made a post, it was one of the first things I saw on my timeline, right? I said it appear at the top of my timeline. I liked to see his posts. But I know darn well that for most of us, if we were doing what he was doing, our families would be behind us the whole way. Like, yes, this is my sister, cousin, niece, aunt, da 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 da. Like, I'm so proud of her. And even if he was like, hey, y'all, I need y'all to, like, maybe hide, back off for your protection or my protection or whatever. You're telling me that throughout this whole time, not at one point any of them was like, super proud of you, big bro. You're doing great work, big bro. We only just saw the first post from his supposed mother. And I'm saying supposed because this woman has the last name of Workman. And he tells me that he tells everybody he's Mexican. His family's Mexican. If you look up his brother, Ivan Hernandez, Mexican. So I'm not sold 100%, but anyways, whoever this Workman person was did tag him in a post the other day and was like, I'm so proud of my son, da 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 da. That's the first time that I have seen anything this entire time from any of his family acknowledging what he does. Where are they? Where are they? I don't know. Oh, but I still don't see why DUIs would be a reason to try to hide your identity that much. Like, depending on the depth of the DUIs, you can literally go to AAA, take some classes, do your time, and get a blow and go, pay fines, and get that stuff taken off of your license. I don't see that as a reason to have to change your name. Sierra, you said you found his mom on Facebook. Was it the Workman woman, or was it a different name? I don't know. I did want to let you guys know before I get off of here. Yes, that's my fear, Ashley, is that he's pretending to be his mom. He's so in deep with these decoy accounts and all of these fake pages that he makes and upholding this fake persona that he has, that my fear is like, we don't actually see any of his real family. And the only reason my sister was able to find his brother is because she dug so deep last night and went through all of his old accounts. And she went through all of his follower lists, all of his friends lists, and she found similarities in all of them. That's the only reason why we found the one. And if you look at his brother's account, it is creepy as hell too. Different. Very, very different. So, I don't know. But I also wanted to let you guys know, I did remove the contact information from the investigator, or of the investigator, from my post. The reason that she called me this morning is because, I asked her to call me, but the first thing she said was, are you Lex Lex on Facebook? And I was like, oh shit, did I say something bad? And she was like, I need you to remove my contact information because she has been getting emails from trolls and people who are trying to throw off this investigation. So, if you guys do have anything that you feel needs to be turned in, you don't have to send it to me. You don't have to tell me, if you have a personal experience with Olive that you think that this investigator needs to know about, you don't need to tell me. Just ask me personally for the contact information and I will send it to you. And if you are not comfortable sending it yourself, then sure, if you want to send me the information, I'll screenshot it and I'll get it over to her myself. But she did ask that I removed her contact information off of my public platform because she was getting bombarded by a bunch of troll emails. So, yeah. So we actually think he has 2 little brothers and a sister. That's just from our research last night. I'm not sure. Yes, Jennifer, he really does make the show Catfish look like child's play. Philip, don't. All right, y'all. I'm going to get off here. This has gone long enough. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. See, Nikki Shockley, what, all of these names. All of these names. I don't understand. And my sister just commented, he told me that he has a younger sister, but also said his older sister helped him out of the gang. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's an illegal. If that were the case, he would not be working that closely with law enforcement. Unless he had balls of steel. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go eat. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. Do not believe what he's saying. This is not the reason his cases are being dismissed. He's the reason that his cases are being dismissed. He is obstructing justice over and over again. And he is going to be stopped. So, all right, you guys. Love you. Bye.